Hello students. So today we are going to study about miscible and immiscible liquids. So here miscible and immiscible is mainly used for liquid. So let us study what is miscible liquids. When two liquids are mixed and they dissolve completely in each other, they are called as miscible liquids. So here we will take two liquid and we will dissolve it. We will mix it. If it gets completely dissolved, we will call it as miscible liquids. For example, milk mixes with water. If I am adding milk to water, these two will dissolve completely. The milk and the water will dissolve completely. And I cannot recognize whether milk has been added to that or not, isn't it? Another example is ink mixes with water. The ink pot that we earlier used to get, if I mix it with water, it will completely dissolve and we cannot make out which one was that. We cannot make out that whether we have mixed these two liquids. So here we have considered liquids. We will consider liquids. The next one is immiscible liquids. Immiscible liquids are those liquids which when mixed together do not dissolve in each other completely. So there are some liquid which do not dissolve with each other and these are called as immiscible liquids. For example, oil and water. This is a very common example where if we try to mix water with oil, we can see the water will not dissolve with oil. They will form two different layers. Since oil is lighter in weight, so oil will be present at the top layer and water is present at the bottom usually. So there we can make out that oil and water both are separated. They are not mixed. See here. So in the first example, we have added milk to water and milk and water gets completely dissolved, so we call it as miscible liquid. In the second example, this is an example of immiscible liquid. So here we have added oil and water. We have tried to mix oil and water, but you can see two different layers are formed. The oil is not mixed with water. So this is an example of immiscible liquids. Now let us talk about physical change and chemical change. Physical change is one that does not alter the substance during the change and no new substance is formed after the change. So in physical change, once the change has taken place, there is no formation of new substance does not take place in physical change. So at the end of physical change, we will not get any new substance. So the substance is not altered. It does not get altered. It does not get changed. And most of the physical change can be reversed. So examples are cutting of wood. For example, if we have cut down the wood into many pieces, so nothing new has been formed. Only from a huge piece, from a big piece, we have cut it down into small pieces. So no new substance is formed. So this is an example of physical change. Another example is iron bent into a nail. So we will make the nail from iron by bending it. So here we are just bending the iron. We are not altering, we are not making anything new. So these are the examples of physical change. Next we have chemical changes. A chemical change alters the substance in many ways and one or more new substance are also formed. So in chemical change, some new substance will be formed and these chemical changes cannot be reversed. We cannot get back to the original, to the raw product. Examples include flower into fruit. So once a flower is changed into fruit, this is a chemical change. We cannot make again flower from this fruit. Once it has turned into fruit, we cannot reverse back, isn't it? Another example is burning of paper. Once the paper has been burned, it has turned into ashes. We cannot take the ashes to convert into a paper, isn't it? So these are irreversible, and these are the examples of chemical changes.